Roof inspections. Now, every one of our jobs starts with a roof inspection. We need to get onto the roof, have a look at the roof, and then assess the problems with the roof and come up with the right solution and then work out a price. So the start of all our jobs is a roof inspection. And when we start talking about roof inspections, there's so many facets of roof inspections that we can talk about that I think this will be just an introduction, and then we'll have a whole series of videos about roof inspections and roof reports. Now, what brought about this topic on roof inspections is that Mason and Jeff over the past week have come to me and they've suggested that we should be providing a roof inspection report. So I asked them why. And their answer was that we've done several roof inspections this week, and we're looking at roofs that's already been inspected by someone else. And usually it's an insurance company. So the client has put a claim in. The insurance company has organized their builder to go and assess the claim. And the builder has organized their own roofer to go and provide a roof report, a roof inspection report. And the common element that my guys and myself have been seeing in these roof reports is just simply how bad they are. It seems like these roof inspectors who work for these insurance companies just have no idea how to do a proper roof inspection. All the roof inspection reports we look at are just very generic, and they don't actually identify what the problem is. So Jeff and Mason and myself will go out and have a look at the roof. We present it with a report by another roofer. We go and have a look at the roof and we go, are they reporting on the same roof that we're seeing? Because their report bears no relationship to what we're looking at the roof and what we're actually finding on the roof and what the actual problem is. So whether we should be out there providing roof inspection reports, how much we're charging and how much someone should be paying for a really decent roof report, that's something we'll cover on a later video. So the best way to introduce how we do roof inspections is just to go through an inspection that we did the other day as an example of what's involved. So a typical roof inspection involves someone comes on our website and they make a booking and they say that they've got a problem with their roof, and then they make a booking on the website on a particular day, a particular time. We will be there to have a look on their roof. The booking goes out our booking calendar, and it's a very simple process for us because all we do is every day there are bookings on our booking calendar. We click on the actual booking, it brings up Google Maps. We click the location, it tells us exactly where we got to go, how long it takes before we get there. We send our client a message, either we will ring them or we'll send them a text saying that your inspection is going to be in about an hour's time or whatever time it takes for us to actually get there. So typically it will take us between half an hour to a bit over an hour to get to a client's home so that we can do a roof inspection. So say an hour to get to a roof inspection. Then what we do is we go in and talk to the client, and we'll actually ask a lot of questions to find out exactly what the problem is, because we need to know as much details as possible so that we can really identify what exactly the problem is, rather than go out and use a scattergun approach and say everything's wrong, so you've got to fix everything on your roof. Because what the typical client wants is that there's a problem and they want a solution to fix that particular problem. Sometimes they would ask for a general inspection to see whether there are any areas of the roof that also need some maintenance work. But in particular, they've asked us to look at a particular problem and they want to know what the problem is and how much it's going to cost them to do the repairs. So once the client has given us as much information as we've been able to get out of them, we get onto the roof. And it can be quite a challenging process because what you see inside a house looking up is very much different to what you would see when you get up on the roof. So you got to do a lot of translation from inside the house to outside the house where the problem is so that you can hopefully identify what the problem is. So we've arrived on this roof and it seems like there's a leak around the skylight. Alright, so leakage here at this skylight. Okay, so where the chimney could be a skylight or a chimney problem.
Yeah,
so,
there's a chimney on the
yeah.
outside.
So this leak number one. What's next?
No, that's pretty much it.
Oh, you only got one leak.
That we've noticed.
Okay, all right. Now it's important not to jump to conclusions and say that the skylight's leaking. We have to get up on the roof and actually look at the area around the skylight where the leak is to try to identify exactly what the problem is. So this is what we found. So this is what an inspection is. We'll go up on the roof, and this is just a short video of what we do. Okay, I think we are recording here. We've got a leak downstairs and it's on this side of the skylight. Now, we look at this rib and there's a good chance that this rib actually travels all the way up there. So I don't think there's a problem there. We should check the turn-ups, but it's not leaking anywhere else. So we've got a joint there. Seems okay. This is a relatively new flashing, slate grey. That's how it's detailed in there. Not that bad. Chimney seems okay, although we should check. Yeah, it looks reasonably okay. Maybe the joints. Slate seems to work alright. So, I'm suspecting, so slate grey flashing, we're looking at 330, and I guess about probably 250 turn up there. Now the length to there is about 1.2 meters, right? And see all the sealant work's been done there. Obviously there's been a problem before and somehow they've put that in, and they haven't bothered doing all of that because it involves taking that hip out and extending that flashing around the corner. So we're looking at a length here of about 1 meter, and if you have a good look at, see that there, you can see there's some weeping right there. So there'll be a lot of rust that's been painted over and it's all damp. So my suspicion is that we've got a hole in here because it's rusty and the water's getting down there. This is where the clip lock roof starts. Water gets down there and start drifting down the bottom, and that's why we've got a leak in this area. So we've got to pull this tile flashing out, the slates, and the slates are the 310 wide. That's old 12-inch slates, and we need to pull this out and do a repair. So should be a really simple exercise. So once we've done and we think we've identified what the problem is, we will then get off the roof. And the important thing here is to be able to explain to the client what we think the problem is with the roof. So we take a lot of pictures and we'll normally just show them a picture and we go through the basics of their roof and why we think it's leaking so that they understand what the problem is. Because once they've got that understanding, they've got a good picture of what it takes to get the repair done.
Yep.
And your leaks are
around there.
Mm-hmm. So you see that the flashing between your slate roof and that roof.
That obviously is more recent.
Yeah, that's quite recent. They've got a big one there, and there's another one there that is reasonably recent right there.
Oh, okay.
And then it stops right there.
Yep.
And from there around a corner
that's
is
old, really
right?
old.
So this is failed.
Uh-huh.
So because the failure, water's getting in there and
yep.
then running down there, and that's why you've got the skylight leaking. So what we've got to do is we have to extend this flashing all the way across to here and around the corner.
You mean replace?
Yeah, take it out and put some, and just that flashing in there. Just keep going with that flashing. Put a new one in, join onto that. Go all the way to there and around the corner. So usually the client would ask us how much it's going to cost to do the repair. Now our answer is normally we don't know. We got to go back and we'll plug the data into our estimating software, and that will work out what our quote is going to be. So for our clients, there are no pressure techniques, there are no sales techniques. We don't tell them that they've got to sign on a dotted line, it's going to cost them X amount of dollars, because physically we don't know until we plug the figures into our software to tell us how much it's going to cost. Now, the other reason we don't provide the estimate or the quote straight after the inspection is that it just takes too much time, and we're usually booked from inspection to inspection. We allow a 2-hour window between inspections. So after the inspection's done, we still have to go back to the office and we have to work out exactly what we need to do to get the problem resolved. We have to describe it in words, we've got to describe it in pictures, and we plug it into our software and out comes the quote. So that would normally take an hour, hour and a half per quote, depending on the complexity of the quote. So you're looking at from start to finish, 2.5 hours, another hour and a half, 4 hours. So it's 4 hours to provide a quote that is supposedly free. So now there are a lot of questions about why we don't charge for our roof inspections. And if we were to charge, how much would we charge? And how much other people charge? And the quality of the roof inspections. Because usually, like everything in life, you get what you pay for. So if you pay for a cheap roof inspection, you don't get the quality. So we'll cover all of these aspects about roof inspections on later videos. So I hope you've got a better understanding of what it actually takes for us to go out and do a roof inspection and come up with something that is really meaningful. Because there are a lot of people providing roof inspections out there, and you either get the unqualified scattergun approach or use our approach where we use the sniper mentality to really zone in into what the actual problem is and come up with a solution to fix that particular problem. So coming up, you'll see a few more videos about roof inspections and all the questions and the nuances of roof inspections.